tripping. 大家好，真高兴能见到你们。
你是中国人？
不，我在大学里学过中文。
Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby. I mean, he would have us cracking up. We'd be on the voice. I was like, damn, nigga, you are funny. I knew he was going to be a comedian, but that motherfucker had me rolling. And it's hard to make me laugh, you know what I'm saying? So, shit, I was just like, damn, that motherfucker was. I was like, shit, that motherfucker funny. He was funny since we were kids, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe I thought that sleeping with Brandon would help me fill the void. This void I've had since high school, since college, the void I still have. I just wanted to know what it was like to be happy.
Peggy works in the same building. Sharon was...
Or evening, depending on where in the world you are. You are watching ActorsE on ActorsEntertainment.com, and I'm your host, Anna Shalray. Today we have an amazing guest, actress, writer, producer, motivational speaker. You might have seen her in TV shows like Mad Men, Without a Trace, The District, or ER. Let's welcome to the show, Karimah Westbrook. Thanks for being here today, Karimah.
Thank you for having me.
So where are you from?
I'm originally from Chicago, but I've been in LA for some time now, so this is home for me, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, now it is.
So you grew up in Chicago?
I grew up in Chicago, born and raised there. My family's still there, but I moved here, of course, to pursue acting.
What got you into acting?
I loved it. Ever since I was a kid, I've done it, whether it was for entertaining my family or from like doing plays in grade school, and then a couple plays in high school, did musicals and stuff like that. I mean, I've just always loved entertaining. So
you were involved in theater a lot when you were younger?
Kind of. It was like off and on, more like background playing for the musicals, and that was always a lot of fun. And then
singing and dancing
and playing around, goofing around with my friends. But it was something that I always enjoyed doing. And as I started to take things more seriously, I started to, definitely look at and audition for parts that actually were roles, and like really committed myself to step up my game as an actress.
Well, what made you make the transition from Chicago to LA?
Well, I knew if I wanted to have the opportunity to audition for television and films, I knew that I had to come to LA. Chicago is a smaller market, is more commercials, a big voiceover town, big theater town. But as far as television and films, it was very limited back during that time.
Okay, so you go from Chicago, you move to LA. What's the first thing that you did when you got here?
The first thing I did when I got here was a show called City of Angels. Oh. It was a medical show, and I played this little girl who thought she was pregnant and tried to get a pregnancy test, and it was really cool. It was my first big job.
Did you have an agent then, or did you just land an audition somehow?
No, at that time I did have an agent. Yeah, by that time I did have an agent.
How did you go through the process of getting an agent? Did you have the knowledge and information from going to school, or?
No, actually I did a mass mailing. I was very just like thinking out of the box when I first got here. And people always tell you like what does work and what doesn't work, and don't do mailings and go straight in the trash. But I did mass mailings, and I mailed to like the VPs of casting at all the different networks. And this lady, Donna Eckhart, called me in from Big Ticket Casting, and she was working on she was casting, like overseeing the shows like Moesha during the time, and brought me in. Funny story with this, I requested general audition, and that's what I was normally, doing just to meet casting directors. So I sent out all these headshots and resumes, and they sent me material before I got there. And mind you, at that time, I hadn't worked on, it wasn't exposed to the professional world. So they sent me sides, and, I got there and I auditioned, and, I was like, I ran to drama first. And so I was like, crying and everything. And, they were sitting there and they were looking at me, and they were like, do you know the difference between comedy and drama? And I was like, no. I was like, this is a comedy. I was like, oh, really? And so I did it again. I made the transition like with ease. And, after that, they really liked it. And she started referring me to agents. So that's how I got my first agent. Yeah.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool.
So I heard you crashed an audition.
I have crashed an audition. Yeah.
How does that work out?
It was pretty good. I booked a job in the movie, and that gave me enough money. So
What movie
I was
was
able.
that?
It was for the film Save the Last Dance.
Wow.
You remember the dance hit back in the day?
Yeah.
So it actually worked out. It was a blessing because I was able to earn enough money to actually move out to LA and pursue my dreams. So it was great.
Wow. So you went from Save the Last Dance. I heard that you did a few commercials also.
I have. Oh, when I first moved out here, I worked all the time in commercials. I had like JCPenney's, McDonald's, Skechers, Land Rover, IBM. I mean, so many commercials.
So you had a theatrical agent and a commercial agent.
And a theatrical agent and a commercial agent. A commercial agent was a lot easier to find during that time. But yeah, I have both.
So after all of that, I actually was reading on your IMDb that you did a voiceover for LA Noire.
I did.
What was that like? What do you feel was different between doing a voiceover than getting up in front of the camera like we usually do?
It's very different because you're not really moving. It's all they focus on your facial expression. So you're in this orange. Well, we were in this orange suit. And it's like the computer, they have all these cameras that's going around you 360. Like,
really?
Yeah, 360, like a circle of cameras around you.
So you're being shot for the video game also?
Yeah. And it's actually very cool. So they really focus on your
body.
Yeah, your body and your
physicality.
Your physicality and stuff like that. So it was cool. It was very different.
That sounds like an awesome experience.
Yeah. It was my first time ever doing something like that. So it was nice.
Well, you're watching ActorsE on ActorsEntertainment.com. So, you have an idea and you need to let the world know about it. The answer is And Now Media, an amazing production company. Take a look and we'll be right back with ActorsE Chat.
Why do clients like these and these choose And Now Media? When they've got a message, an audience that they want to reach, why do they dive into our world? They do it because they want mind-bendingly breakthrough creative. They want it to focus. They want results beyond their expectations. And now, you've got a boutique creative house that's at your disposal. A passionate, professional team concocting, executing videos that connect your message to your audience like never before. And now dive into our world. Creativity with purpose. See how far your message can go. And now, it's your turn. And Now Media, creating success one video at a time.
That was And Now Media. You're here watching Actors Entertainment on ActorsE. And I'm your host, Anna Shalray, and we're here with our guest, Miss Karimah Westbrook. Sorry, blah, 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 Monday, yes. So we were talking about your voiceover role, which was actually a physicality shot also with LA Noire.
Yes.
So let's move on from here. Let's go on to Bolden.
Okay. Bolden.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, Bolden is just a fantastic project that I think everyone is kind of waiting for it to release. Or, I every year I get the question of, what happened to Bolden? What happened to the film Bolden? It's actually a great question. The last I heard, the film has been edited and, they've gone through like 6-7 editors for the project, but we're just all waiting for it to release. But
what is Bolden about?
Bolden is about Buddy Bolden, who was the man who was known to create the sound of jazz. He inspired people like Louis Armstrong. And so this is like an account of his life based off of, things that they could find during that time. It was like, the early 1900s. So it was a long, long time ago. But it was such a cool project. All-star cast. I mean, a bunch of up-and-comers.
What was your role in the movie?
I portray Alice Bolden, which is Buddy Bolden's mom, which was very interesting because Anthony Mackie plays Buddy Bolden. And so it's like me and Anthony Mackie, we were like the same age. And so it's like I play his mom in the film. So we'll have to see how that turns out. But
what was it like working with Anthony Mackie?
It was good. It was good. He's a bit of a jokester. So he kept the set very lively. And, you know, he likes to, you know, play around and crack jokes a lot. But he's very, very talented. I mean, everyone on I think all the cast members were just outstanding. And
you have a new film coming out soon, right? Come on, man?
Yeah, it's called Come On, Man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. That's how you have to say it. You're like, come on, man. Yes, it comes out tomorrow. It's being released nationwide on DVD. And then
Redbox?
Redbox,
Yay!
Netflix.
Everyone check out your Redbox.
Absolutely. It's starring Tony Rock, Chris Rock's brother, and...
Oh, he looked familiar.
Yeah. Funny guy. All-star cast, Kim Whitley, a lot of comedians. So it's going to be a lot of funny moments in the project, although it's a bit of a dramedy. But yeah, that releases tomorrow on DVD and it'll be on Showtime in September. I was having like a brain fart there. I was like, what am I saying?
Awesome. So we got to look for Come On, Man.
Come on, man.
On our Redbox. And Blockbuster probably, right? Any movie stores?
Is Blockbuster still open?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's still open.
Well,
I've seen Blockbuster.
Did I say that? Are we recording? I love Blockbuster. I just know that they were kind of closing down in a lot of areas.
I think they just kind of... downsized a little bit.
Yeah. But so it is releasing, like, I guess in all
nationwide
media outlets. Yes.
Nationwide.
So you should be able to catch it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, looking at your experience, you did Save the Last Dance. You've done commercials. You've done voiceover work with L.A. Noire. Mm-hmm. You've got Come On, Man.
Come on, man.
It looks like you've played a wide variety of characters.
Yes.
Would you consider yourself a character actress?
I do consider, looking at all the roles that I've done, I do. I guess I have the diversity and the versatility of one who can portray a lot of different characters. So because I've been hired as different characters, my last few jobs in films have been like Alice Bowden. She ages from 23 to 52 in the film. And, and come on, man. Angel is a character in herself. And, it's just been in a right. So to answer your question, yes, I believe so. But, I would like to, play different types of people, just like normal people with issues that aren't really where you can't recognize who they are, Oh, and Papa Nebo in the Rum Diary. That was a whole nother character.
Yeah.
So it's kind of looking like I'm going down the road of character actor work.
Well, we have a lot of aspiring actors in our viewing audience. And can you explain to them the difference between a character actor and someone who is not?
Okay. Well, character actor basically is how it sounds. I feel like the approach to your work will be a lot different when you're dealing with and when you're building a character within your work. Normally, actors, depending on the approach to the work, you'll ask the question as if maybe what if, as if this was me, or what are the circumstances. But with the character, sometimes the world is, it's so completely removed from who you are, and maybe it's a creature or just a being that that's created from fantasy. So you almost have to build this person. It's their approach to the work is just completely different. So just the transforming your transformation is just completely different versus something that doesn't really have a lot of layers, or a person that's completely removed to like everyday life, I guess, a person you would portray. So a character is more. You find yourself building more and creating a person within the work versus someone who's not a particular character. It's like a fine line, because ultimately every story you tell, the person is a character. You know what I mean? Rather she's the wife, she could just be a real character, Yeah. But in essence, like if you look at a Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean, he had to create this person that was totally built on imagination, a lot of it, and just layers that you have to be able to create a being.
It looks like we have a question from one of our chatters.
Yay!
Scene Shoot wants to know, what was it like working with Johnny Depp?
What was it like working with Johnny Depp?
Ew, it was fun. It was really fun, actually. He's a really, really nice guy.
Did you feel a little starstruck at
You know
all?
what? I was so focused because, you know, when I got there, I did get there afterwards, but when I first saw him, you know, I was very like focused. Like I'm here with the professionals, and I'm a professional.
Getting it done.
And, I was popping Debo, but afterwards, I was like, "Oh, Mr. Depp, how are you? You know, could you take a picture? You know." So he was very sweetheart.
So we're going to see a clip.
Okay, we're going to see a clip of the Rum Diary. Wow.
Yeah.
What a character.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how have things been since the Rum Diary?
It's been good. Actually, I've been expanding as far as like using my gifts as an actress, sharing. You know, I've written a book. I've been doing seminars. I've auditioned for some pretty cool projects, but mainly I just find myself like stepping out on faith and being fearless as far as pursuing other endeavors, which includes like, you know, writing and just things I kind of wouldn't allow myself or felt like I couldn't do in the past because of I gotta focus.
Yeah.
You know.
I think we have another question from our chatters.
What do you like better? Do you like doing commercials, TV, or film?
What do you like better, doing commercials, TV, or film?
Film.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. For film, I feel like you have more creativity, you have more room to play. And
More
you know,
development. Right?
More development, more time. Television tends to move very fast, which I have no problem with, but it tends to move very fast. Film, I just feel like you just have more time to play and to develop the characters that you portray.
You're watching Actors E on ActorsEntertainment.com. Here's Anna Shalray, that's me, to tell us about a unique, one-of-a-kind online gift shop, ArtistStore.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with ActorsE Chat. Hi, I'm Anna Shalray, here to share with you a terrific online gift store, ArtistStore.com. ArtistStore is an online art colony of completely original and absolutely affordable gifts and fine art. ArtistStore is particularly fun because it includes many unique and one-of-a-kind gifts, cards, and wall art that you can't get anywhere else. For example, in the gift section, ArtistStore carries beautiful apparel art ties. Yes, art ties. Ties hand-decorated with jewelry, fringe, beads, and all sorts of stuff. Animal art ties, art deco ties, music ties, you name it. And best of all, the ties are for both men and women and can be worn well with a pair of jeans or in a tux. ArtistStore also has inspirational corporate jungle posters. Joe Sabatino likes the poster of the hippo. He put it on his refrigerator to remind him of what not to look like. Yes, clown art, custom airbrush t-shirts, hand-knit scarves, photography, handmade decorated soaps, and more, all on one site, ArtistStore.com. I especially enjoy the artwork by Brennan's section of ArtistStore. Brennan offers his artwork on note cards, mugs, and wall art, whether it's cocktail ladies, a smoking clown, or Ben and Becky's art for a child's room. Brennan's unique watercolor or pen and ink art will be perfect for the occasion. And when you use the discount code ActorsReporter at checkout, you'll get 10% off your entire ArtistStore order. ArtistStore.com. That's spelled ArtistStor. That's ArtistStor. Check it out. You'll be glad you did. ArtistStore.com for all your unique gift needs. You're watching Actors E on ActorsEntertainment.com. I'm your host, Anna Shalray, and I'm sitting here with Karimah Westbrook. And this is one of the amazing ties from ArtistStore.com. It's got a lot of detail in it, like the purples and the beads. Too bad Father's Day is past, right? Just saying. So we were just talking about the Rum Diary and your experience with that. What was it like being on the red carpet and, going through all of the the premieres.
The premieres and all that. It was great. It was just, just to be in the company of such great actors that I admire. I think that they're just fantastic as far as the work is concerned. It was an honor. I had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And the director, Bruce Robinson, I absolutely love him. So, I'm looking forward to working with Johnny again.
Have you maintained a relationship with everyone that you worked with?
Not everyone. I try to check in with him every now and then. Well, not with him, with his assistant too. Hi, because he just had a birthday recently. Sorry to spit on you.
Nice.
He just had a birthday recently, so I try to reach out, stuff like that. But he's way busy, so I'll let you know about the callback if I ever get one. But I'm just trying to stay on the radio. Yeah. I'm trying to stay on the radar. Hey, remember me? So
it's what you have to do. You just have to continue to put yourself out there.
Because he's busy. I think since Rum Diary, he's had 2 films releasing. He's working on, I think, another Pirates now, I've heard. So.
Yeah. So, brain fart.
Brain fart?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's just talk about it.
Yeah. So, I have brain farts all the time. So.
Anyways. So you went from the Rum Diary. You were talking to me about all the other things that you're doing. Because you're not just an actress. You've also been writing and producing.
Yes.
So you did a short film called The Best Kept Secret.
Yeah. Best Kept Secret was actually my first project that I produced. That was several years ago. And, it was birthed out of wanting to create an opportunity for myself. Because I think that's very important for actors to learn how to, write, direct, produce. Maybe you don't learn all those skills, but definitely have the mindset of creating your own opportunities. And so creating the short film was my way of creating my own opportunity, a bigger calling card for myself. And so since that, I've produced several more short films. I've been hired on projects. It was kind of it was weird because it was I was getting calls I heard you produce. I'm yeah. Are you paying? Yeah. I'm all right, let me read the script. So, that kind of developed into something else when I actually enjoyed it. I like putting things together. I'm real
you don't
mental
find it
that
overwhelming,
way.
having all of the balls up in the air?
No, I loved it. I loved every moment of it. So I was I really love producing. So, future endeavors involve more projects. I have projects in development now. So I'm excited, What
about writing?
Writing screenplays. I could pump a short out in quick, but features, is this
it's really long, detailed.
You know what? It takes the same amount of focus with anything else, and that's not really it. I just haven't really been committed to completing a feature. Now, writing anything else, as far as I recently wrote a book. And that form of expression has been with ease because there's structure within that, but it's not as, with writing a screenplay, you almost have to tell the story with pictures. So it's just a little different process. So, I like writing, but screenplays.
Well, tell us about your book.
We're gonna get back on that. The book is for aspiring actors. I was doing these seminars. I've been doing them for years, and recently this year, I was just the inspirational thought of write a book about it. You're only reaching the people in LA or whatever. I think
up on the screen we have the some pictures. And pictures from the seminar.
Here in Chicago, and I moved to Los Angeles to pursue my dreams of acting.
But I felt I'm very limited because I'm doing seminars in Los Angeles, and I've been to Chicago, and I plan to travel more. But I'm what about the actors in other states? How do I get the information? How do I share what I know and just tools that I've used and just things that work for me on my journey with actors everywhere, because you guys are everywhere. So I wrote the book, and it's been doing very well. I've been getting a really strong, good feedback. So that's I'm thank you, God, because I feel there was a purpose in me, writing it. And it feels good to help people. So
what do you think the difference is between your book and your seminars?
The difference between the book, in my book, I don't go through your type. Learning your type. There's certain exercises that we do in the seminar that's just not in the book. So a lot of things are in the book that's in the seminar, but just like, let's see, what would be the difference? Like the biggest thing is learning your type. So there's an interactive exercise where everyone gets a chance to discover, you know, how they're perceived, what their essence is. You know, one of the biggest things that I think actors don't realize when they are going in for casting is that you are perceived a certain way. A lot of times we feel like, you know, I could book the job or I should get the job because I can do the job well as an actor. But a lot of times your type or, you know, what
determines it.
Your type determines, and a lot of times we don't know what our type is. So that's one of the exercises that we do, kind of go through some contracts as far as independent work, how to secure, just a lot of different ideas that, you know, I don't really give in the book because I'm like, if I put it all in the book, like, why have seminars? So, yeah. But I'm going to be traveling with the seminar, so hopefully I'll come to your city and
yay.
I'll see you there.
It looks like we have a question from one of our chatters.
Jay says, Jay's from Bismarck, North Dakota. He has no plans of coming here, but he wants to do a little stuff there. How can he learn his type from Bismarck?
Oh,
Jay wants to learn how he could learn his type. He lives in Bismarck and is not moving here, so he wants to learn how he can learn his type.
Oh, that makes me want to put it in the book now because I know that that is some very resourceful information. Wow. How could you learn your type? Well, you know what? I would say perhaps you can create, look at, let me see, what's a short version of what you can do? Perhaps you can create, okay, I'm going to give you something really basic that you can do. When you watch television shows, I want you to look at all the different types that you see on television. Now, this is very simplistic. You have cop, detective, lawyer, just all the different types of roles that you see. Make a list and start asking people around you, what do I look like I can portray? Like I said, that's very surface. I mean, within a seminar, we definitely go deeper within that, but that's a good way for you to see like what people see, like how you fit in. Yeah, you look like you could be a cop, or you look like you could be a fireman, or you could be a doctor, or you look like you could be, you know, a junkie, or, you know, or something like that, or a bad boy, or a jock, or, you know, an arrogant guy. That's a good way, because really it involves other people. So you really want to get, because we can't really see how we're perceived. It's like the perception is coming from other people. And the same as with casting. You know, when you walk into a room, they're like, he doesn't look like this. He can't be a cop. He just doesn't look like it, you know? And a lot of times we're like, I could be a cop.
I can look like it.
I could be, you know? So that's one of the things that you can do. Just create a little list and make copies and ask your friends, you know, say, you know, what do it look like I could portray? Like what type of roles? But to help them out, create a list of the different types of roles that you see on television. That's something that may be able to help you out.
Along those lines, I had an acting teacher tell me to cast myself because I'm interested in commercials. So I watch a commercial and I'm like, oh, if there's a, you know, African American mixed type with some big hair, I could play that part. So that's also a fun thing to do. I can play that part. Did we have a question from a chatter?
Yes, you do have a question. What was it? It was
questions.
Wants to know. Said most guys that can play the police can also play the criminals.
Most guys that can play the police could also play the criminals.
That's true.
Well, that's true life.
No argument there. I mean, the thing is just for you to, you know, have a better idea of what you can be cast as, and what do you read as? Because a lot of times I think the frustration comes for actors when they don't get roles or they can't get in for auditions because they don't read a certain way. But the thing is, you don't understand that you don't read a certain way. And so the whole purpose of the exercise is to get a better idea of how you read. You know, there are more layers as far as, you know, personality, essences. So, you know, for me, everyone in the class is complete strangers. So I have them get up and they talk, and there's this whole list, this whole thing that everyone kind of fills out for each other. but you definitely walk away having a better understanding of, like, you know, what energy do you carry? Because some people walk around and it's like, they walk around like they have a chip on their shoulder. And they may not realize that they have that. But for someone to point that out, like, you look like an angry person, you know, that's helpful. It's like, okay, well, you know, and instead of fighting it, now you can embrace all those elements about yourself and know that that's what you walk in with. And you can begin to look for those type of roles or submit yourself or be able to have better conversations with your agent as far as where you feel you fit within the casting, within the roles within casting.
I think we have another chatter. Wow, you guys are just full of questions today.
Do you have any audition tips for us?
Do you have any audition tips for us?
Audition tips, yes. I would say before your audition, focus. You know, when you're waiting to go in, journal as the character. You want to be in the mind frame of what you're going into audition for. So if your character is about to, you know, see her child that she hasn't seen in, you know, 5 years, when you're waiting in the lobby, be in the mind frame of, I can't wait to see my child. I haven't seen them in 5 years. Because I've been to auditions and people are like, hey, girl, hey. You know, they're talking and it's like, you know, that's fine. Have little reunions, but stay in the mind frame and, you know, stay focused before you go in.
Keep that focus.
Yeah.
You are watching ActorsE on ActorsEntertainment.com. Let's take a look at one of the most respected photographers around today, John Michael Ferrari, and his website, imagesbyferrari.com. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with ActorsE Chat.
Hey everyone, I am Judith Jones. If you are looking for photographs, which a lot of you are, let's face it, we need photographs every day, actors, models, even if you're just, you know, the milkman, you need photographs, okay? You need to look good. And if you want to look good, you've only got one man to go to, and that's John Michael Ferrari. You see, I needed to look good. So I went to John, and he basically took me to the most beautiful place in LA and took these wonderful photographs of me, and I really didn't even recognize myself because I just looked, well, let's just face it, I looked stunning. So if you want to look stunning like myself in those photographs, go to him. He will make you look beautiful. If you're pretty, he'll make you look prettier. If you're not pretty, he'll make you look pretty. John Michael Ferrari. That's all you need to know. So go to imagesbyferrari.com. That's the website, imagesbyferrari.com. And you can check out all his photography and you can contact him there. You can look at a picture of me. He directed me, because if you need direction, which, hello, I do, he directs you too. So go and check that out, imagesbyferrari.com. You'll love it. You'll look great. Check it out. Bye, everyone.
You are watching ActorsE on ActorsEntertainment.com. I'm your host, Anna Shalray, and I'm sitting here with Karimah Westbrook, and we've been talking about a plan for aspiring actors, her new book and seminar series.
Yes.
Can you tell us anything more about it?
No,
when are your upcoming seminars?
Oh, I actually, thank you for asking. I actually have a seminar coming up July 28th here in Hollywood, California.
Yay!
There's actually an early bird special, so if you guys want to sign up before July 9th, there's a sweet discount for it. I'm very excited about it. I love, like, after every seminar, just the feedback is just humbling, and, you know, it makes me, it's like a confirmation that what I'm doing is actually, like, really, really helping actors. So, I mean, that's, like, one of the best feelings, to be of service and, you know, to be a vessel to help someone. Because honestly, as an actor, when I look at all the things that, you know, I've been able to share in my book, and, you know, I do giveaways and stuff like that too. And within the seminar, it's like, I wish I had that, or I wish someone would have done that for me, because it can be a role. It's a beautiful journey, but it's a lot of things to learn, you know, and you gain it just through experience. So, you know, I felt as an actress, you know, knowing how it is, I wanted to be able to give back and, you know, give actors information that, like, they're good. Like, if you go to my site, there's a lot of testimonials and videos and stuff like that. And pretty much you'll be like, you'll be good. You know, at least as far as the groundwork and getting things going.
And tell them what that's.
Do you have the website for us?
I do. The website is Plan of Action for Actors. The number 4.com. So that's planofactionforactors.com. And it's right now it's an ebook. Hard copies will be in August.
Oh,
so
yay.
I'm very excited about that because I know a lot of people
read on their phone.
Yeah, read on the phone, and then also for the paperbacks, you know, there's worksheets in there as well, so people can write and all that good stuff.
Is there like an app to download? It's an ebook. Is it like an app or
no?
It's
How do
not.
you do that? It's a PDF. So you just download it and just like a readable file.
And on that, aplanforactors.com, can we find the ebook?
Yes.
Awesome.
You can learn about the ebook. You can learn about the seminars and just everything else. Learn a little more about me and more of the work. See my reel, my producing reel. Like everything is on there.
So we have another question from our chatters.
Yeah, I love that.
The question is, what's next for you? Someone want to know who would you like to work with?
Who else would you like to work with?
I would like to work with Brad Pitt. I would like to work with Angelina Jolie. I mean, there's like a list.
We all?
We need to break out the list. Like, I would like to work with, oh my God, how can I forget my favorite? Will Smith. Like,
oh my goodness.
Hands down, Will Smith. I'm going to claim this. I look forward to working with Will Smith.
I look forward to joining you. Another question for our chatters?
Peter wants to know what role your faith plays in the selection of your roles you play.
Peter wants to know, what role does your faith play in the selection of your roles?
You know, just that responsibility as far as the work and, you know, looking at, okay, me as a Christian and feeling like I can't do this and I can't do that. I haven't really... I didn't take on that responsibility. I guess I think more about it now. But for me as an actress, I just take on the challenge of the roles, you know. When I was growing up or just working very early on in the business, I never really looked at, okay, as far as my walk, like, does this reflect anything negative or anything like that? I was just strictly interested in telling stories and stretching myself as an actress because that is a part of the gift that, you know, God gave me. But as I move forward, you know, I'm definitely considering that more. But I just think as an artist, it's definitely a personal choice. But remember, you know, at the same time, you're an actor and you're telling stories that need to be told. I don't even know if it needs to be told, but it's a part of your job. This is, you know, what we do. We tell stories.
Have you had to say no to a role? Or, I mean, have you amicably said,
yes, I have.
You know, not really my thing.
Yeah, there are certain things that, you know, I've said no to as far as...
Is there a certain way you have to do that in order to not break ties with people, or...
Well, I usually just say it through my representation, so they'll handle, like, that work. Like, she's going to pass on this project right now, you know, because certain things I just definitely was not
so it's okay. It's okay to say no. Something's not going to.
Absolutely.
Another question from our chatters?
Yes, Creating says someone has to play the bad guy.
Someone has to play the bad guy.
Someone has to play the bad guy.
It says, like in Rum Diary, you were like a pagan.
Yeah, Rum Diary.
I think for me, I still just stay in the whole creative aspect of it. Like, you know, I want to tell all types of stories, you know, and I look at it for what it is. It's a story, it's fantasy. And I hope that people are watching it can understand that's what it is too, and not feel like, oh, Karimah, it has become this monster that she's playing. But Karimah enjoys stretching herself as an actress and playing all types of roles. So
going back to a plan for action for aspiring actors, that's one way that you're giving back to people like us who are actors and who are wanting to move forward. What are some other ways you're giving back? I heard about a place called Home. Yes.
A place called Home is a wonderful youth organization that I've been working with. They're in South Central LA. They're in South Central LA, and I started out as a mentor there. And over the years, you know, I joined the Leadership Council, And we produce something every year called Stars and Strikes. I've stepped down for the Leadership Council like last year, but I'm still very supportive of the organization. They have grown in ways that I would have never imagined from like 18 years ago when I first started working with the organization. But that's something that I love to do.
What does A Place Called Home do?
A Place Called Home is a youth organization that kind of supports the kids in the community by providing them with mentorship, tutoring for school, dance classes, yoga. They provide them with meals throughout the day. They teach them how to cook. I mean, it's just like so many programs where I'm like, oh, I wish I had that in my area when I was growing up, you know?
Is there a way that our viewers can be a part of that?
Absolutely. Their website is actually apch.org. So it's the acronyms for A Place Called Home, apch.org. And they have a lot of opportunities for you to volunteer as well. So if you're looking for a place to volunteer in Los Angeles, A Place Called Home is a fantastic place.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
We have another question.
Where can we find you on Twitter and Facebook and stuff?
Where can we find you on Twitter and Facebook and your website? How can we keep up with Karimah Westbrook?
On Twitter, my handle, that's her handle, right? I feel like an old lady sometimes. Twitter handle is only1Karimah.
Only one. Is it the number one or spelled out?
Yes, the number one.
Okay.
Only1Karimah. And my Facebook page is, facebook.com, actress Karimah Westbrook.
Facebook.com/actress Karimah Westbrook.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you to all of our viewers and our chatters for joining us on ActorsE Chat Show. We really appreciate and enjoy your questions. We are here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Hollywood, California time. Want to see all of today's ActorsE show? Go to ActorsEntertainment.com and put the talent's name in the search box. Today, you're going to put in Westbrook to see all of Karimah's appearance. Ever wonder who's been some of the 750 plus guests on ActorsE? Actors, singers, directors, comedians. Well, you get the idea. Visit Actors Entertainment on imdb.com. Follow Actors Entertainment on Twitter. And join us on Facebook at Actors Entertainment fan page. And don't forget to like us. Like. Tomorrow on ActorsE Chat Show, singer-actress Brenda Epperson. You might have seen her in Instant Recall, Passions, The Young and the Restless. And stay tuned for our Actors Reporter animation, which won Best Animation from the Telly Awards. Here's our Telly Award, the big, heavy Telly Award.
Yay!
Yay! And thank you to And Now Media and Pepper J Productions for that animation. Thank you again, Karimah, for being here with us today.
Thank you. Such a pleasure.
It was wonderful to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Bye!
What's that? ActorsE Chat Show? Happens to be my favorite in the morning. I want nothing but a cup of coffee, a bottle of Kahlua, 6 naked girls. Wait, no, that's not right. ActorsE Chat Show.
Oh my gosh. Hey, big Hollywood starlet that just happens to be walking by. Yes. I'm not from around here, but I want to be an actress just like you. What do I need to know? Kid, let me tell you. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a naive newbie like you, there's one thing you need to know. To get my first job, I lived in a slum, beat out 50 other girls to play a drunk bum.
I cried.
My first agent charged me 30%.
Thanks.
Working 3 jobs and I couldn't pay rent, but I'm an actor.
She's an actor.
A shark gnawed my leg on a B film in Sydney. To pay for the stitches, I sold my left kidney. I finally made a union, their rules were complex. Their piles of paperwork fogged up my specs. But I'm an actor. She's an actor. I'm an actor. Well, that's rather disturbing, but what's the one thing I need to know? Don't listen to the critics. Don't follow all the tabs. Forget that sleazy photog and the agent that's got crabs. Go to Actors Reporter. and the secrets without all the sweat. An info-packed one-stop shop, it's free and on the net. Actors Reporter. Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com.
How can they help her?
Career cues, union news, makeup woes, advice from pros, insurance tips, choosing scripts, everything at your fingertips. Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com.
I just got a call back.
I'll do it.